Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a short update video on the aquatic plant terrariums that I had built almost a month and a half back. We are going to take a closer look at the progress these terras are making. What is working well and what is not. Let us first wipe up the condensation on the jar so that I can show you better. I also chose to do a voiceover for this video since my neighborhood has become too noisy during the recent months. Let's talk about this small terrarium first. And the first thing that I see is a struggling Glossostigma. It has become leggy and the leaves have started to turn brown. It's clearly not doing well, and it actually doesn't come to me as a surprise. Glossostigma is a high demand plant even in aquariums, where it needs a fair amount of lighting, CO2 and fertilizers to grow. I just took a chance here as an experiment to see if it can grow immersed. This experiment has clearly failed. I will give it a few more days and then probably replace it with a Hydrocotyle tripartita, which also happens to be my favorite plant and never fails me. Other than the Glossostigma, the rest of the plants are doing very well. The Ricardia moss is growing, as you can see. It's now much greener than when I had planted it. The Storogine repens has to be the star here. It's a stem plant and you can see how tall it has grown. The Anubias is also one of my favorites. It's an easy growing plant. I just have to place it on the substrate and it roots itself in no time. You can see how well its roots are getting established. I think I will need to do some pruning here very soon. Let's move over to the bigger jar here. Once again, the Storogine repen is the star. Here's a pic of this terra taken on the day I had built it. You can clearly see how lush and tall it has grown. The Eleocharis also seems to be okay. Some leaves have turned brown, but I can see new growth as well. We'll have to keep an eye on this one. It might not be a very easy plant to grow immersed in a terrarium. The Ricardia moss here looks great, and so does the flame moss, which is actually growing very well here. The Storogine and moss growth is also covering one of the dragon stones. I might trim them a bit so that the rock can be seen. Overall, it looks like this terrarium will need some maintenance very soon. Let's get to my favorite terrarium now. This was the cloche terrarium I had built about a month ago. The first thing that catches my eye is the little twig. It has developed mold on it, as I was expecting, since this is not a seasoned piece of wood. I will just clean the mold with a cloth and will probably need to keep doing this till it settles down and stops developing the mold. Other than this, there are no failures here. All plants are doing very well, including the flame moss. The Hydrocotyle is developing into a lush green cover and I'm really liking it. That's the beauty of a scape. You do the hardscape and planting as per your layout and then nature takes over and does the rest of the work, converting the scape into a piece of green art. The Storogine again is growing very well here. It's green and lush and looks amazing. Overall, this one has to be one of my favorite scapes of all times. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more update videos in the future. If you like the content that I'm posting, please do subscribe, comment and share. It really helps the channel and encourages me to put out more content for you. Thanks again.